The Humane Society's executive director is on administrative leave.
And the organization's board of directors has authorized an outside investigation.
Our investigative reporter Naomi Coles has been digging deeper into the details. Naomi?
Jamie, I've been digging into these reports for several days now after many of you reached out to me. I'm told the executive director was placed on that leave during an emergency meeting of the organization's board of directors. That was Tuesday night. Now, the board announced that they have authorized a third-party investigation into complaints at the shelter. Public complaints that I have learned about include allegations of toxic work culture. That's from 2 high-level employees that just resigned. Now, also a public petition is circulating with more than 1,500 signatures that also includes allegations of animal abuse. Now, the board said in a statement, quote, "The board of directors is aware of recent complaints regarding our organization and take these concerns seriously. We are actively reviewing the issues raised and are committed to addressing them with transparency and diligence." Now, it is important to note the statement does not specifically say what they will be investigating. It does just acknowledge those complaints. I do have more details online right now.
We can look for those. All right, Naomi.